don't see
some
it
skills
on
are very
Facebook.
good.
I still don't see it.
Here it should be now.
So how was your week? How are you doing?
And we have a special guest today, Anfal, after a long time.
Anfal, you here?
Anfal is here.
Mabrouk, hello.
Ramadan Kareem,
Are
everyone.
we live?
Of course. Yes, and we changed the timing.
I thought you
for
said like we
Ramadan.
changed the timeline. We did change the timeline
We
as
changed
well.
the timeline also, including the Ramadan timing of the session. Yes, every Ramadan we always
We didn't
change the
the
time.
date of the...
We didn't change the date. That is correct. I did not change the date.
Oh, well, excuse us for this really like long preparation today. I think it's a vibe in the air with Ramadan that has started, with the confinement that is opening as well. So it's somehow moving a little bit, which is also interesting. So I think we're good. Let me check the sound now. So the sound is also correct. And they can hear us on Facebook. Greeting Facebook as well. Welcome to our Monday Heart Resonance Energy Practice. So if you know us by now, you shall know already what we are doing on Mondays. If not, know that we will share a little bit as well beforehand, so you know what we are talking about. And if you feel the excitement, if it does resonate with you and you feel the excitement to join, then you have a link in the video which is above or below, and this link is bringing you to our events to pay, and then you receive an email with the link to come to our private channel with a password, and you can join the session. We are 15 coming up now in the private channel to have the opportunity to receive the full session. So what is the session about on Monday? On Monday, so I'm going to listen to the sound a little bit. On Monday, what we have, yes, sound is very good, perfect. We have the spiritual gym, and I like because one of dear sound practitioner from Abu Dhabi said, Mathilde, what's happening on Monday? The spiritual gym that George was talking about. So we've been talking about the spiritual gym for now maybe a year and a half, because we have converted a little bit so we can relate to the different type of energy session that we are offering. So Mondays is the one that is the spiritual gym, where you are engaging with your consciousness, you are engaging with your focus to build up your channel, your energies. You build up your structure to contain more of your higher self, more of your highest frequencies, more of your divine qualities, and that you can share and amplify and connect with other hearts and other consciousness as well. So Monday, welcome my dear hearts. If you are on Facebook, I do not see your name very well. If you are on podcast, wonderful, we are almost ready to start. We are also aware that we shall finish a bit before...
Yes, we'll do our best to not make it 2 hours, make it 1 hour and
45 minutes.
30 minutes to 45 minutes.
To break the fast.
Yes, so for the people who's fasting, they can have the time enough to prepare for breaking the fast with their family or things.
So,
all right.
Is there something you would like to talk about, to share today?
One more time about Monday spiritual gym. So as many of you always ask this question, there is always many ways to answer that question. If you are dedicating your lifestyle into spirituality, into awakening yourself, into energy, into opening your heart, whatever all those topics, those high quality topics, bringing any new energy healing, awakening your consciousness, connecting with your higher self, connecting with the universal energy, expanding your energy channels, your chakras, your light body, many names, many meanings to those spiritual evolution or spiritual ascension. So Monday, we've been doing it for 4 years, and we always go through a couple of themes during the Mondays. So every month, let's say every 2 Mondays or every 3 Mondays or 4 Mondays, they have a theme. of exploration and real energy practice, deep energy practice. So either on the heart, on the construct of what we call it cosmic heart, or either on the third eye, or either on the channel, or either on connecting with the higher self, or either connecting with the higher realms, archangels, and other kind of consciousness, or expanding your light body, or working on the DNA, which is today we're going to work a little bit on the DNA with the energy healing, and I will explore a little bit and explain a little bit about connecting with the higher self and shifting the timelines, or sometimes work on the shifting timeline, or expanding consciousness into higher density, higher 4D, 5D, 6D, if you heard it, these kind of things, or connecting Mother Earth, or all those infinite possibility. We all teach and guide and connect and read the energy on Mondays. We've been doing it for at least four years, and it's always based on an important structure, which is the heart resonance. So basically, when we start the Monday, we always build on top of the heart resonance. Heart resonance practice is essential practice that all the committee practicing almost daily. All what we teach is based on heart resonance. Heart resonance is you learn that your center of center is your heart, and the rest of the energy center and all your expansion is an expansion from your heart. And once you understand that, then you can access everything based on your heart, and you can build up energy to access everything through what we call heart resonance. You build an amount of energy, an amount of expansion on your heart, what we call heart resonance. It fuel all your spiritual expansion, connection, healing, whatever you are working on. That will be the basis. Heart resonance, the basis for an expanded energy, connecting with whatever heart you want to connect. Mother Earth heart, higher self heart, higher realms, divine, all they have heart, and we are all one, a giant flower of life, let's say, and we are all connecting through the heart, and all the rest is an expansion of it. Third eye expansion of it, crown is expansion, you connect, and so on. And the more you come to Mondays and listen to these terminology, even they are new, it's like a seed. You are adding new seed, and those seed, time by time, they are watered with these practices. They are watered, and out of the blue, a couple of months, you find yourself like something is awakening in you. Some channels that you never felt they exist, they become available. Some feeling, some extension, some project of energy. Things start flourishing, and knowledge start coming back to you. And that's what we experience with our students during these 4 years. Some of the students, they started with us 3 years ago. They are already right now in Europe, and they are teaching. They've just received the seed, awakened themselves, and now they are like skyrocket, let's say. So that's why we call it spiritual gym. It's transform you from, let's say, lower frequency energy of forgottenness, limitation, not aware of spirituality, let's say, into whatever you want to grow in the spiritual expansion, and it build up your energy channels. It expand them, building up, expand your third eye, consciousness, energy, all what you consider required for your spiritual ascension. It just build it up. And basically, every time you do the spiritual gym, if you are a spiritual athlete, so if you are in the ascension timeline and you are dedicating your time, if you are an athlete and you are a sportive guy, for example, you go to the gym, you do sport every day, it's become your lifestyle. You become healthy, you eat healthy, everything about your life has become about well-being and health. If you are spiritually dedicating yourself, Mondays is the regular, every week, going to the gym of the spirituality, expanding this heart, expanding this consciousness, and listening to this guidance and those seeds, and allowing those seeds to start awakening and stretching your spiritual muscles.
So it's a self-care. It's natural, organic habits that we have forgotten and that we are gathering again, part of our well-being, part of ourselves, a practice that reconnects to our essence, a practice that reconnects to your being, reconnect to your layers in depth, reconnect to your qualities, to your spirit, to your higher self, and many more. So maybe today, as George was talking, maybe today you would like to tune in and feel where you would like to direct this heart resonance, where and to whom or to what you would like to connect and establish a connection with your heart. So that may be a way to set your intention for the session and the practice. We will axe the practice towards higher self today. We are higher self today.
Higher self, and I mentioned in a bit, we want to experiment further on bringing from the higher self a new healing energy as part of shifting the timelines and infuse it in our DNA. And few things in our DNA of the blueprint awakening and the channel awakening. We're going to, the theme, I feel like we want to reawaken those energy healing power that we have with the higher self. I work with the higher self and energy healing power and communicating with our DNA to awaken those codes back again in us.
Yes.
So that will be the theme of a couple of Mondays coming.
Yes. So it's coming back into a beautiful, expanded field, coherent field, and harmonious field that by default and by nature is transmuting and untraining what is not. So whatever you are working on nowadays that is asked to be seen and is asked to be transmuted, or is calling you for opening new access. So allowing this heart resonance to build up this coherent field, this harmonious field, this vibrant field to realign. And when we realign, is actually healing. What is not in alignment is disharmonious, and this is where we create chaos and condensation, where it's breaking, like the harmonious line is breaking and creating an unease or a dis-ease. Wherever it is in your layers, wherever it is in your template, if it's unknown, conscious, not conscious, wherever it's there. So in building that frequency and really building it strong, then you are opening this capacity of self-healing. And then later on is how to bring that self-healing to others. So in connecting to that frequency, you have by default access to your higher self, and we will guide you through the session today to open that. If you've been there for many Mondays as your normal habit practice, then you know how we do it, but you also understand that doing it by yourself and doing it in a group, and George used the word the flower of life today, like in a group you are all concentrated, your hearts together, your feet together, that create a very strong base and foundation for the work to happen in now. So individually we can be very strong and very potent. As a group, a line, we are on training like waves and support and strength and power. So this is our invitation for today. We don't have specific topic to share with you. Actually I do, but I wrote it today. I've been doing a bit more writing than usual. Usually I wait for Mondays or any group sessions, but we have a bit less, so I'm turning to writing to be able to share and to put in the field the message coming through in a way. So today was not about sharing about the heart resonance, but the topic that came yesterday in my practice was incubation, and it's written on my page. So if you want, it's very short,
it's a
but
very
it
nice
gives
picture also of you to see.
It's very short, but it gives a lot of depth of reflection and introspection if you would like to do that. It was actually a channeling from different consciousness that share their point of view. So I make it's like a sum up, but share their point of view. So if you are connected to that consciousness, you will connect to who said what. But I'm not sharing them to keep it accessible for everyone as well. So
Yes,
I think
another topic we can mention quickly.
to share something. And
We-
I'm also sharing hello on Facebook to Rob and Nitu and Francesca and whoever is watching that I don't see.
I want to talk about a little bit of the healing, because we are going to work on the healing, and as we working in the time of quarantine on restructuring all the courses and going online, and we have the community. We were doing a small project on the side. One of the project was last time is astral unconditional love energy, and bringing
Yes,
unconditional love
exactly, this
energy,
project.
and we celebrate. I will tell you the celebration quickly now. uh, Unconditional love with astral projection and asking higher self and on the higher astral realm to shift the timelines for toward a desirable timeline where more harmony and more love and more benefit for everyone. So we trained for 2 weeks with the community to prepare to go astral projection, literally. And it was a big shot because we cannot guarantee that everyone will achieve in 2 weeks astral projection. Yet, I would say maybe 80% of the people who joined, they have almost 90% success of astral projection. And the rest, they enjoyed the energy, they felt it, but they were not as successful as the rest. But we're talking about 20%. And
It's a
if they
process of growth as well.
if they continue the practice, they will achieve it. 80% success, for me, it was success. Now, it didn't stop on just training on astral projection. That one part is to train to astral project and go high in the dimension of the astral, all the way to the higher self and the what we call council of light of the Mother Earth, and all the higher being and higher consciousness in charge of setting the timeline for experience of humanity. And when we request, as we purify ourselves, we bring unconditional love and we say, this is our frequency, this is the love, and we do not agree on separation and fears and conflict. And we call for our growth, and we are dedicating and responsible for our growth. But our growth, our continuous growth, should be with unconditional love as a teacher. We do not agree on separation. We do not agree on difficulties. We don't need difficulties. We are responsible for our growth, but we are requesting through our heart, through our unconditional love, that timeline to match it. Now with that was the work. We've done it 3 times at least, and the last one was fusing it after requesting, and we celebrated in the higher realms and all these, fusing this energy that we received into our field around us, around our houses, literally. This unconditional, this timeline frequency, as if the reality shifted, as if that we have manifested ourselves timeline, more peace, more love, more ease, and more matching unconditional love frequency that we are embodying. And literally, that was Tuesday night, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning, the restriction of the permit in UAE uplifted, they removed, and they announced start opening the malls. This is like 2 days after the practice, literally. And one of our also student was in Qatar also practicing, and maybe it's close by Qatar, that's why they got it also on Thursday, and we immediately felt the change in the timelines, and we saw an immediate result where we as a practitioner and people, I was in Spinas buying food, and the person behind me, which is businessman, talking about his business on the phone, he's saying no one knows where this restrict will stop. I was checking, and it might be 1 month, could be 3 months, and I was like, wow, this is what people believing right now. I mean, it could be, but we are doing our part. I said, no, we are doing our part. I want to go to the gym. That was my intention, and I'm calling unconditional love. This issue, this difficulties has to be relieved right now. That was, I think, Wednesday, Thursday. And then literally on Friday, the announcement of uplifting or lifting off the permit for restriction announced, and they said in a couple of weeks we'll have another announcement. That was success. So we literally shifted timeline where this reality become available in fracture of days. Now I want to take this opportunity to go further about healing. When we ask for healing, when there is a drastic shift on the healing happening, so you are receiving energy healing, the molecules changing, the body doing the healing, I would say when the drastic shift happen, you are requesting a shift in your timeline. You and your higher self and the reality that has the potential of you healthy and sick available to you upon your frequency, upon your choices. When you start working on energy healing and embodying high frequency and start improving and changing your choices, changing your vibration, you're shifting your direction through your embodying frequency into the possibility of the timeline that your body is healed. And the stronger you do energy healing, the more you embody this frequency, the more you vibrate and allow that timeline to match you. It's like law of attraction or a manifestation. So healing is another form of law of attraction or another form of manifestation and shifting timeline. And when we do this energy healing today, what we're going to do is not only healing, we're going to talk to the cells and the DNA and request the blueprint to match our frequency with the higher self request that we are setting up. We're going to do almost the same what we've done with the group, but toward returning our high frequency blueprint, original state, the best version of health, the best version of DNA, the best version of cells that's already available to us. Now we're going to request a timeline shift so we match a physical body that has this healing. I've done it many times, this kind of techniques, and I totally believe, because I witnessed many healing modalities, I studied many healing modalities, and many of them I was teacher in it for a couple of years, till I stopped for a while because I felt there is something missing. I can see sometimes miracles and sometimes nothing happens. I witness even some very high frequency energy healing, which comes from higher being or some even higher consciousness, and also sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. And I was asking, so why sometimes there is a miracles result, sometimes not? Till I realized it's about all your frequency. If you are working on one aspect of your frequency, if that aspect is the key, is the core of issue, if you cure that through the energy healing, then you will cure. But if that is not the key, not the core issue, then you need to know what the key core behind it. And could be limited belief system, could be learning, could be you and your higher self deciding on staying in the same sickness, let's say, because it's teaching you. Unless you shift your understanding and you start saying, I'm responsible on my growth without these difficulties, and you change something in you. And of course you can still do the energy healing, because this will keep you shifting your frequency toward that direction, and then out of the blue the healing will take place. Or sometime you on the physical, you are choosing in your decision of daily life wrong choices that does not suit you, and based on also your frequency that's also is not working for you, and then no matter how much you do healing or medicine also will not work unless the total of your frequency, which means your physical choices, your emotional process, your mental and thought and belief system, and your learning and growth as a soul on earth, those all your total vibration, total being. If your total being is not matching what you're requesting for, then whatever you do, nothing will work. Till that learning, that requirement for this whole frequency shifted, you are not matching this timeline. So that's a concept about it. So when we talk to our higher self and embodying this, we're opening opportunity in us to change in things in us, many things in us, so we can match what we are desiring.
Yeah, so it's become, so give you a couple of seconds to digest that. And we are about to start very soon. So basically it's becoming conscious of the unconscious, and through the access of your higher self, you receive clarity. You receive that access, that information that you are not aware of, because in your awakened state, you are in your limitations most of the time. So in connecting to your highest aspects, in shifting your vibrations and frequencies, what happens? You unlock informations that gives you guidance to understand where to go, to bring your eyes, to bring yourself into what was not perceived yet. So you keep growing and healing and aligning and rising and building your beautiful, healthy and aligned container that receive and perceive frequencies. I'm already gone. The session already started. Frequencies and consciousness, unlocking those access in your field, like being able to connect to information and to unlock those codes in your DNA. So I hope that is clear. Sorry, I just like shifted for a moment somewhere else. Hope that it helped you, and that talk is now about time to start. Otherwise, people will have to leave the session just before it finishes. So Facebook, thank you for watching. We appreciate your support today, and we appreciate you fully, of course. If it's of your desire to join the session now, you have the link and you will receive the email. Go there. Know that for May package, we'll have a new system in place for all the sessions, all the Mondays online. That will be much easier for you. So we will inform in post on Facebook, Instagram, and send that in the community as well, and Unconditional Love community, so you know where to go for May package. I also would like to inform you that next Wednesday we have the Unconditional Love group healing, which will be also online, and that session is free on contribution basis. You can bring your friends. It's the spiritual spa you receive. With your intention, you only have to receive. The highest consciousness and realms are taking care of you, and you need to everything in it.
And you can bring your crystal most of the time when we do in the Wednesday. We open up the vortex. You don't need to do a lot of gym. You can receive and activate your crystal with the unconditional love frequency.
So this is next Wednesday at 5 p.m.
And allow it spread in your space. And for the practitioner of unconditional love project and community, you can also connect with your vortex and feed it with more energy.
Yeah, it's to do the practice for you guys.
Responsible as a light keeper to keep igniting the light. This is our part.
Yeah, and keep building the grid.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for watching Facebook and YouTube. We wish you a wonderful day. See you next week. You are dearly loved. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you everyone watching. We like those topics because in a short time we deliver very deep understanding that might take you years or might take you courses to achieve them. Whatever I shared with you today is my 15 years to 20 years of research and testing out and studying modalities, and my own connecting with higher self and higher realms, channeling and asking questions. I am a curious soul who want to ask all the questions, and whenever I see something that missing information, I want to ask what is missing here, what we didn't understand. And healing modality is always a big question for me. I was teaching it many times, many years, and I know the difference that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. I always have that question. I hope that what I share today with you bring light so you understand it. It change your perception, it change something in you, so you open up to new frequency, new possibilities, and new timelines. And otherwise, you can join us in the session in the link, as Mathilde mentioned, somewhere in the description, and come to the crowdcast and receive the practice itself. The practice will be energy healing, guidance, and expansion and connecting with the energy, and also a mental understanding. You will hear me, you will plant a seed that will change your perception, change your connection, and change your reality, because you're shifting every time you change your vibration. Much love. We connect with you soon.